Hey Harmonizers, it's time to head to Pennsylvania for the Mustang show, and Aoife is on her way. So this is us getting ready in the wee hours of the morning because we want to get ahead of traffic. And so this video I'm going to go through a bunch of the things getting ready for the competition, how we practice, all of those little things, and teach a few little tips along the way, but also share a whole bunch of insights. So because we are going through Toronto, we want to leave early before all of that rush hour. So this is what it looks like going to get my horse in the morning, and it's like 5 in the morning, super early. And we get on the road when there's literally no sun in the sky, only stars, because we want to get there early enough for time for practice. And this is one of the really nice things that they do at this particular show is they let you practice on basically any of the obstacles. They aren't set up the way they would be for the show, and not necessarily everything is out, but a bunch of the stuff is out there and you can go practice on it. And I think on the schedule they said that it would be out until I think 5 o'clock or something like that. So I wanted to make sure we arrived early enough and had enough time that we would be able to play with the obstacles and just get used to a bunch of things, because I know with horses, often the first day they arrive, it can be a little bit intimidating. They have to settle. And if you can go out and do things slowly and calmly and not be in a rush because you have, an hour or two, then the next day you come out, they'll be so much more relaxed. So definitely a big tip is if you have a horse that's young or green and not used to going off site, plan to have lots of time to help them settle in, not thinking like you're going to arrive and have to compete relatively soon. You want to make sure you have time to go through all this stuff. So like here, for example, we have Teeter Totters at home. And for whatever reason, she wasn't really a fan of it tipping and going off the side. And there's a whole bunch of factors at play, like we're in a new space, it's very wet on the ground, there's other horses doing things that are pretty close by. So there's a lot of stuff happening for her. So I'm just being really patient, taking my time and trying to repeat enough until she actually walks over the teeter totter. And I'm glad I repeated it because I think she walked over it pretty easily the first time, but then when it tipped, that's when she kind of was like, no, I don't want to do it again. So I want to make sure that I take my time and make sure I try to help her realize that the tipping is okay. We go fast enough off of the teeter totter and I give her cookies afterwards. Also, we walk around the ring a little bit, make sure she's okay. Here's a different obstacle, which is the pedestal, which is a tire essentially with a wooden board on top. And she walks over really nicely. So that one seems to be pretty good for her. And there's like a little water box over there that we can go through, which is relatively small, but she kind of looks at it, isn't really too upset by the whole thing, kind of, isn't really sure, but not really upset. She's stomping at the bugs more than anything else, and then just walks through it. And all in all is doing really, really well. I change directions, go the other way, and she just walks through it absolutely no problem. So if this were the competition and we didn't get to practice over the obstacles first, I think we would do pretty well because she didn't take long to go over the obstacles. And I'm really proud of her because really this is only her second time going off site, because her first time was the clinic video that I showed you guys last time. And then it's here to the horse show, which is a long drive away and all by herself in the trailer. She's doing super fantastic though. This is my little Evelyn who came for the Mustang show trip with us, and she loved hanging out with Aoife and helping brush her, and there was another little kid there her age that she got to play with too, so she had a lot of fun. And to me, it's always much more fun having family there as well. I love having my kids around, and Evie enjoyed holding Aoife while I was grooming her tail. She had to learn to get her to stop and back up there. But Aoife was really great with her, which I really loved as well. That was probably one of the most rewarding things, is how good she was with my daughter. And then this is the next morning. So we've spent a night. She got to settle in, was really good in the stall. And then now we get to come out and practice on the obstacles a little bit more before the show starts. So I go early enough that there's time to go over things and do stuff like this, where I'm politely nudging and saying, like, can you try? Can we do the teeter totter? But she's standing there, but I'm being really patient about the whole thing. And here I'm just going to reposition her, try to get her nice and straight and ready to go over. And you can see Aoife's not super impressed about the whole thing. I'd love to see in the comments, do you guys think when it comes to showtime, is she going to do the teeter-totter right away? Or is this going to be an issue in our class? So definitely drop a comment, let me know what you think. And you can see, like, I'm nudging and I'm standing there and I'm like, please, like, try. When she's sniffing it, I let her sniff it. And it's just a fair bit of patience and asking her to go over and getting those moments where she does go over and giving her lots of praise afterwards. Thanks for watching, guys.
Remember to subscribe and check out harmonyhorsemanship.com for even more learning.